for the goal and sinks it in.
Not easy to maintain ball control and move like these guys are moving.
I love to see teams evolve their gameplay.
I'm always saying nope, it ain't going deep. That is.
For that pass cross, it's down forward. Over to Pinata, who puts it in the goal.
This is what we see out of our players. This is the VR Master League Orion Drift.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How's everybody doing? We are coming right in to the heat of things for the NA bronze matches for today. And of course, this is going to be the grand finals. Day after this, we do have the grand finals with the winner of this game and of course, the infamous Ignite. How are we all feeling about these games today?
Feeling fantastic. Anytime you have finals on the schedule for VRML, you know you got to be there on the streams, on the casting booth, and in the game. We have the best of the best. So I can't wait to see this one. A bunch of orgs involved in this one today too. You talk about the growth of VR. We have Aesir, Formula 3. We have Ignite. We've seen over on across the ponds. Ren, we've seen TTT. This is a battle of the orgs across the day, it seems, for supremacy, and you'll have to see them banding together to, again, promote the growth of VR and VR esports. It's all coming down to this. Exciting times ahead.
Absolutely. Well, here we are, everybody. We're finally at that moment. We're getting down to the nitty-gritties. We got 3 teams left. So first here, let's get to the arena for some player introductions. All right, your starting lineup for Formula 3. We got Salvatore, we got J-Navy, we got Pinata, and we got that backline boss, the one and only Lynch. Formula 3 looking sharp. I think they're trying to do an F there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, fellas. I know they were stressing about it. Over on the other side. Over on the other side, coming in, representing the Aesir organization. Your starting lineup, we got Miffin, Kangi, Blade, and Dwagon. Nice A, fellas. Nice A. That was good. That was good work. We got Boo on the... Yeah, absolutely. We got Boo on the outside. Beautiful. So, if everyone's ready in the chat, hey, thanks, Rainsy. Appreciate all your support, always in the chat. Appreciate that donation. Oh. We almost got started there.
A little bit of a false start, of course, right? Great way to start the day.
Well, these players, we know they're eager, as you've seen for the other matches. They don't waste any time in between rounds. And our pre-match MVP goes to Lynch. We're ready to go. Take it away, Martini. Round 1 between Formula 3 and Aesir.
Of course, the infamous F3, the infamous Aesir, as the ball going live. Already Miffin with the ball in hand takes the shot. Already a point on the board for Aesir.
Wow, Miffin ain't missing right off the bat. Just a couple seconds in, one of the quickest goals you'll see. Well, true to the name, it's a race to start things, as there will be a passing play now. Pinata to Navy, and Navy backs it out here for a quick reset. Everyone diving out, though. The aggression is real.
Kangi now in the sky. He's trying to spread out that defense. He bobbles it a little bit. Good recovery. He gets it up to Dwagon, but it goes a little too far. Now we got a little chicken jockey situation. Salvatore and Lynch off to the races. Salvatore coming around the corner. He holds it, he's coming in, he shoots, and Kangi's there with a great save.
Beautiful goaltending there, holding that one down. Lynch trying to get the ball behind them on the possession. Doesn't work. Blade coming in, never mind. Goes for the pass for Pinata. As Pinata now coming around the corner, goes for the back pass, but it doesn't quite work out. And that clear in.
Salvatore going towards the sky, redirects through the traffic to Pinata. Pinata hanging in the air, unable to get it in there though, as Miffin now takes away control of the ball, going high towards that bridge, the halo, the logo, and oh no, he'll go for no goal. It's Lynch, the linchpin on defense.
Wow, Lynch coming up huge there. Miffin's gonna hit that reset pass back to Kangi. Kangi flips it ahead over to Miffin. Miffin, quick pass over to Dwagon. Dwagon coming off that back wall. Gets it up to Kangi. Kangi, good patience. They're waiting for an opening here. He's going to flip it back on the reset to Dwagon.
Gonna be a really long reset right over to Blade, able to connect there to playing through Halo at this point, trying to see how can they attack this defense. They're really taking their time to figure out where to go. They have 3 minutes on the clock, so a little bit of time to really maintain possession for the time being.
And Blade able to dodge one defender, but not the second one. That ball goes flying right towards Lynch, who gets tackled out. So meanwhile, it'll be a race for the ball once again. Some tackles from Blade enables the teammates to get there first, although they knock the ball towards the wall. Miffin coming through now from the highways. 3 defenders in the goal. And the pass to the cutting Dwagon, but Lynch once again, stoppage, putting the cork on the play.
Man, Lynch is coming up huge here. Blade trying to find an answer. He flips it up to Dwagon. Let's see what Dwagon got's going. He's going to flip it on. Oh, no, it goes wide. Miffin now resetting it up, coming in, trying to get that bounce. It won't go. And Dwagon coming in. That ball's free. That goes open. And Lynch again. What is going on?
I got to give credit to Lynch. I think that's the second, third, maybe even fourth goalie shot that they were able to deflect for the time of being. And I got to say, after they haven't been too great on the offense, but this defense has been insane.
Yeah, that is at least the 4th from Lynch. Hands everywhere, body everywhere, embodying up the team on defense. Kangi coming in again now on Pinata, Lynch, and co. Dwagon, the assault, but Salvatore knocks it loose. Miffin slides up, some nice mobility to get some separation there. They're going to reset, redirect traffic. There's the cutters coming in for Miffin and co. And then missing. Oh no! It's G Navy sending it to the mid lane.
G-Navy doing their best Lynch impersonation. Now Kangi fires it up. It's intercepted by G-Navy. Navy now looking, has Pinata ahead. A little hand hot shot with that ball. Holds it, now coming in, and that's good defense there from Aesir's Blade.
This offense really struggling right now on the F3 side. Pinata trying to get their hand behind the ball, but they're fighting for possession at this point. Salvatore on the back, being able to receive that and help out their teammate for the time being. G-Navy coming in, takes that shot, finally F3. On board.
Well, you love to see the defense finally rewarded. They played such good D on that one end, but it took them 4 minutes to get their first score. Really had to work for that one to deny extra goals and finally supply one of their own.
Miffin now working it into F3 zone, but G-Navy gets a hand on it. Here comes Speedy Robot Salvatore. He gets by 1. That ball's loose. He turns and shoots, and he gets it to go. Formula 3 now leads by 1.
I mean, that was beautiful. Able to just barely get around the defender there. Able to follow up that shot.
Arena rips up again.
There. Formula 3, a little rough, I think, earlier in the round, but looking a lot better now.
Yeah, you know, those saves will hype up a team as well. So breaking that seal on the offense. Meanwhile, Blade right through the wickets of some defenders there on the second and third attempt. In fact, being swarmed, however, the defense right on point. But persistent as ever is Aesir. They're going to back it out even deeper, looking for this last potential play.
Here comes Kangi in attack formation. He fires it over to Blade. Blade shoots and Blade ties it up. Let's go. We're headed to overtime.
Overtime in the D. We're coming off the rollout here. Dallas trying to deal with the shadows. Got the one, but can't get past the 2. This is me really threatening as Dwagon comes in, goes to the cross pass, and it goes in from Kangi. Let's see that Formula 3 winning up round 1. Or Aesir, sorry.
My, oh my, Aesir with the ace on the play to open up the stream here today in OT. How about it? You love to start a stream that way. You know, Formula 3, they held on there for a long time. Defensively speaking, had a couple quick goals in a row in that final minute, but Aesir, right when it counted the most, You know, all you need is one when it comes to OT. They got the job done.
We're back in the arena for the start of round 2. Let's see if Formula 3 can get one here. That ball's launched. Here comes Salvatore looking to get that first goal. He launches it up and it goes high, but cleaning that up is G Navy. 1-0 Formula 3 leads.
I mean, hot off the launch. There were 10 seconds in. Formula 3 already down into a point. I'm a little worried now for Aesir. I was really thinking they had it, you know, for that one. But they're already, never mind, they're already responding. I can't even talk about it as they're already equalizing.
Going just a million miles an hour was Miffin there on that goal. So just as well on defense. Look at the speed these players have at the moment. Navy will redirect around the ceiling, quick carve, and oh my goodness, the goal was open, but then deal was closed by Blade. Got there just in the nick of time.
That ball is back in the corner of F3. Lynch now fires it across. G Navy's going to get it on the run. Nice little ceiling carve to get away, bring it up to the hoop-de-hoop. Takes a look back, bringing it down. Juke and jab, it turns and fires, and that's Kagi with a huge save.
I gotta say, the defensive plays from these teams have been it's been amazing as another one happens right as I'm glazing them. As Salvatore goes in for the reset deep into Lynch's hands. They're coming in now for another attempt, but the possession is contentious right now.
Absolutely. Look at this press by Pinata and co. They're trying to knock that ball loose. It's so many great defensive stops on both ends now. Round 1 was a lot of Formula 3. Aesir now showing their defensive chops. All the meanwhile Blade trying to see if they can execute and organize some offense. And you can see they're not afraid to back it out a little bit more, stretch the defense even thinner. That said, maybe stretch it a bit too thin. That's going to be an open goal, and that's going to be the deal closed for sure this time. No one able to get back for once. A 1-point advantage Formula.
All right, Aesir finds themselves down 1, but as we've seen in the last round, they're gamers. Here we go. Miffin now bringing it right up the middle, right up the gut. He's coming in one-on-one, and he just slips it past. Not much Lynch could do on that one, tying it up at 2.
This is a high-scoring game right now. 4 points Orion 4. We still have another half of this round to go in. Salvatore coming high off of that rollout and tried to respond already to Aesir's previous attack. Pinata coming in quick.
Pinata being stolen from, but Salvatore helping him out, getting the ball right back. Blade causing a lot of damage, though. A pickpocket. And will drop it. No, Dragon will send it waywards. That might have been in, however, but nonetheless trying to secure maybe that guaranteed goal as there was a defender nearby Dragon. So can't fault too much for that one as Pinata presses up.
Kagi gets a great save there off Salvatore. Then Blade gets that cleared down to the other side. Pinata's going to backpedal for it. Now he turns the corner. He heads up on the mound. He gets by 2. Ooh, the ball also gets away from him. And he gets tackled out by Miffin.
So much defensive pressure right now. Pinata can barely get their hand behind the Salvatore with the recovery there for the time being. But again, these defenders are on their backs. Blade finally coming back and holding a little bit of possession for Aesir for just a little bit longer than 10 seconds.
Yeah, the possession time exchanging quick there, but here it goes once more. We've seen this every time just about on the offensive plays. They'll back it out. Of course, the defense has caused some trouble off of that, so a strategy that's not always paved the way for success there for Aesir just in this round, as again, the Formula 3 defense, they're not afraid to press up and bother them in the midfield like we're seeing right now, as a matter of fact.
And that ball's loose. G Navy trying to wrangle it, but it gets popped up. Blade's just going to slap at it. They're going to take a breath as Pinata brings that ball back in. Oh, it bounces off the curb. Blade, volleyball spikes that up, but here comes Salvatore. A little bit of a silly card. Waits, holds it, flips over to Pinata, and Pinata hippopotamus misses.
That was such a good attempt at an assist there. Just unfortunately couldn't quite finish for the F3 squad. But hey, there's another attempt coming in from Lynch, coming in hot off to the side. No, it's picked up by Kangi.
That was a great read defensively, knowing where that ball was going to come and when it was going to happen. But that said, time is winding down now. We're approaching the last 35 seconds of gameplay. So once again, we are at the same place we were last round at a threat of a potential OT, but not if Aesir has something to say. Blade from up high, but loses it off of the rough bounce. Now Salvatore from the Skyway trying to chase down this final play to potentially take this round. Salvatore with some quickness, showing the fitness, and everyone here a witness to the greatness of F3 3 in the final 10 seconds. Can they defend is the question.
10 seconds to go before we're in that hot potato time. 5 seconds now. Here comes Miffin. Hits a juke. Takes to the sky. They're going to have to set something up. He fires it up over to Dwagon. We're in that hot potato time where it's still alive until the ball hits the ground or a goal scored. It gets over to Blade, but there it's deflected. And that round will go to Formula 3 by a score of 3-2.
3-2. I mean, we saw basically a repeat of what we saw in the round 1. Granted, it is a flip this time. And they're just coming hot off of this. I'm excited to see where we go. I want to see a very contentious Game 7 potentially.
Yeah, we've seen it across our regions, OCE/APAC and EU as well. We've seen these round 5s, we've seen these round 7s and overtimes in them as well. So plenty to go here in this best of 7, all even up on the series. And a quick start off this neutral joust. It'll be Salvatore. Could not squeeze it through. Kangi is there to knock it out of the way. G Navy is there as well, so maintaining possession here on this side of the floor for a moment as it gets forwarded to Dwagon.
Dwagon flips it over to Blade. Blade's coming in, goes underneath the wing. Ooh, he gets tackled off, and here we go. Salvatore bringing it the other way, coming one-on-one on Kangi. Salvatore puts it in. Formula 3 up 1-0.
I mean, beautiful way to sneak right past the Aesir defenders. Formula 3 getting another point on the board there. Miffin already trying to respond as fast as they possibly can. Coming in with a lot of speed, but a beautiful defense by Lynch there.
And Lynch had some awesome saves in that opening round, 4 of them all in the span of a couple minutes, getting back on the board there as well. Miffin playing some good defense in the midfield, knocking it loose and enabling Kangi to bring it to the front line once again.
Now the Kangaroo one fires that across over to Dwagon. Dwagon fires it down looking for Blade. It's a little bit low. Lynch comes out, pinches at it. Blade tried to keep it alive, but there's Lynch putting in some extra work. It goes over to Dwagon. Dwagon's going to battle it around. They're still battling for it in the corner, so they decide to pop it up. Here comes Blade now. He flicks that back over to Kangi. Kangi hits a juke, turns it, fires it with the goalie. Take it out. Aesir ties it up at 1.
Oh, man, I got to say, beautiful shot there coming in on the left side corner. I don't think F3 is quite ready for that, but hey, here they are already responding as fast as they possibly can. Salvatore hot off with the rollout with the speed, going off with a beautiful ceiling carve, gets around the 1, goes for the pass to Pinata, looks for the follow-up, and they can't quite get it in. Gets defended by Kangi there.
You see the intention, the ill intention to paint it in that corner, but of course, when you're playing those slim margins, sometimes it's not going to work out, but you have to do it against these talented defenders, as Blade now going on the offense, but met by a wall of defenders there. Pinata and co. Lynch, meanwhile, in the back line, will look to secure that ball, and everyone there falling in line, rotating on defense. It's another thing that you like to see communicated. When their defenders rotate one way, everyone else compensates the other. Salvatore, there's the cutting Pinata, but slightly misled, will still recover anyway.
Salvatore now going to reset. Doesn't need any of that boost juice. Now he tries clearing it out. It's going to be in that trench area. G Navy has to backpedal. Formula 3 getting a little sloppy with their play here. And now Pinata. Let's see what Pinata. He's working that into the zone. He gets by 1. He gets by 2. No, he doesn't. And Blade picks it up.
Everyone really fighting for possession at this point. Dwagon able to receive that one into the hands of Kangi with the follow-up. But look at these defenders right off of them. They only had a second of possession there. As Miffin again having to fight past 2 different defenders. But Blade coming off the back. They're able to finally get a little bit of movement forward as they come in. Goes in for the shot off the back. Doesn't work though. This gets read up by Lynch again.
Yeah, great defense there. Credit Pinata as well to really disrupt the attempted rebounded shots. Still about a minute and a half to go here. And once again, all 3 rounds here have been about at the same pace. Right now, 1-1. The last couple rounds was about 2-2 at this juncture. So these teams really trading punch for punch as Kangi looks to distribute that to Dwagon, but could not quite convert as well. Back to the offense for Formula 3, but maybe cancel that because it is a bit of a midfield brawl going on now.
Now Kangi's just kind of trying to get that ball wide. Dwagon's there. He comes down with it, but who is that? Salvatore causing a ruckus. He gets the ball free, flips it up, can't really do anything, but it goes back to Pinata. Pinata trying to break in, but that Aesir defense just shuts him down. Kangi's going to bounce it off the onion ring and tell his homies to go get it.
Lynch really holding that back line as they move it down. Goes for that cross for Pinata, able to connect. Quick pass right into Salvatore's. No, he slips right past their fingers as Kangi going for the deep clear over the wagon at this point.
All about the execution at the moment, and Miffin looking to be an executor, but Navy instead will correct the play there with some defense. Miffin gets possession right back. A deep reset to Kangi. Kangi on this approach with some speed. 20 seconds remaining. Could be a big opportunity for a big-time goal. A handoff to Blade, and Blade to Dwagon. Dwagon has some options. Right back to Blade to Miffin. Ain't missing. 2-1. Men on a mission. 10 seconds left and a 1-point advantage going to Aesir.
Doesn't get any closer than this. There we go. Salvatore looking to get a hot potato goal of his own. He shoots it. Kangi stops it. That ball's going to hit the ground. That round goes to Aesir in another tight one. 2-1.
You know, I was hoping we could see a crazy play for FC off of that rollout there. Unfortunately, didn't quite get in exactly where they needed it. It didn't place exactly where the shot needed to go. But hey, that's still a strong showing right now. It's only, what, 2-1 right now for Acer. So still recoverable. And I think it's a cool thing about the best of 7 series. You have to get to 4 games, so it allows the other team to really come back.
Absolutely. You don't get to the following rounds. You don't get to the end of a series like this without having earned it in time and in sweat. Sweatquity, as a great man once said. It will be Salvatore. First possession, it looks like, for F3.
Salvatore now chasing that ball down. He's coming around the corner. We got Lynch bouncing up. Lynch is going to come off, and it's going to bounce wide. They're going to chase it down. Kangi gets there first, but Pinata cuts him off. Now Lynch coming around the bend. He's looking to work that into the middle. He fires across Pinata. Pinata shoots at Kangi. Gets a great save.
Looking great right now as Black is trying to move it down the arena. Salvatore, though, coming off the top, able to recover that one. For the F3 squad, coming again from the top, goes for the pass, but it doesn't connect. Kangi able to read that one. And again, I got to call out the defense of both of these teams. They've been great at reading the offense.
Yeah, absolutely. The reads are immaculate. Wherever that ball is going, even if it's with speed and seemingly random directions, they still find themselves in the right spot. And that's not by mistake or coincidence. That's just by pure skill, by practice, and by game sense, game knowledge, floor knowledge, ball knowledge. And they have all of that in their pockets as Kangi now with the ball right back to Dwagon and back on the offense rather quickly. Miffin on this approach.
Setting it up from the Halo perch. Here he comes. Miffin coming in on that goal, but Salvatore comes in with a great defensive swat, and he's going to lob that back down in the neutral zone area. Miffin circles back and going to go up to the Halo. Looking to bring it back in, coming around the corner. Ooh, cuts by one. Now looking, holds it, fires it across the way, comes in, and what a save from Pinata.
Oh my goodness, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the defensive plays. We're seeing so much goalie tending. I don't know how these teams are able to read so many things. Kangi picking up that one, goes into the deep pass, but Salvatore able to read that one for the time being. Comes in off the top again, but it can't connect, unfortunately.
Blade looking for a connection now, has a bit of a numbers disadvantage, I would say. Will it matter? Not at all. The bravery, the boldness. And you know what? Got to go for broke sometimes. Right now, they just broke open that scoreboard for that first point on the board after half this round expended.
You got Salvatore working it through the sewers. He's going to flip that ball up over to G Navy. He battles that across. It's going to bounce down over to Pinata. Pinata hits a juke, but the ball's swatted up over to Dwagon. He gets his pocket picked by G Navy. G Navy still has that ball, trying to scamper away. He's going to fire it over to Pinata, and Pinata gets taken out by Miffin.
Miffin maintaining his possession, moving it down the arena. Looks for that cross pass. Able to connect with one of their teammates as Dwagon now really playing around the donut hole, trying to move it forward, but no, he gets picked up by those defenders, and they've been really struggling right now to get a push to forward, but they still have that 1-point advantage, and they go for the shot, but again, gets read up by Lynch.
Lynch once again, every time they're in a pinch, he's just there to save the day. Can he make another play? No, it's Blade, had too much speed, and it just rapid fired himself right into the goal at close range.
Aesir with a 2-0 lead. Salvatore needs to get something going here. They're running out of time. They still got a minute 40, but easily that clock can tick down. They get it over to Pinata. Pinata coming in from the sky, turns and fires, and he picks that corner. 2-1. That's what Formula 3 needed.
exactly what they needed. Beautiful connection on the shot. Finally, a well-placed shot in the corner there. But they got to be careful if Aesir comes caught up to the rollout with another goal themselves. It's not going to be looking great. Salvatore coming in off the top. A little bit of that shadowing working out in their favor. Playing through Halo. Playing through the top again. Goes to the top. Takes the shot. No, it gets Red Navy trying to recover.
Maybe having just enough boost juice, and Lynch as well with the deuce on the board, a 2-2, in fact tied again. This may be the most consistent match I've seen all weekend, round to round, because once again, final minute, we're at that same scoreline of 2-2 that we've already seen a couple times before.
These two teams were both battling for that #1 spot on the leaderboard pretty much all season. Oh, it's amazing to see. Now here comes Lynch. He throws that down. It's going to be picked off by Miffin. Miffin now finds it. He turns the corner. He gives Formula 3 a chance to get back on defense. Now G-Navy trying to find it. We got 30 seconds to go. G-Navy just going to clear that up. Kenny comes in with the interception. Bounce off the back wall, and Blade puts it in. Aesir retakes the lead.
That was amazing.
This is going to be a very important point for Formula 3. Can they come back? Can they score as soon as they possibly can? Because they're going to need that overtime in order to win this one. No, it gets Red! Kangi keeping it down for the time being. They can't follow up. They're Pinata trying to maintain possession. They do have a little bit of time here unless it touches the floor. And it doesn't.
There it goes.
Until now. Wow. Oh my goodness, heartbreaker. They had a really good look. F3 had a really good look in those closing seconds, but just could not quite get it in. Narrowly grazing by the rim and then bouncing back out. Again, a heartbreaker for that shot taker. But that will be Aesir as a result, pulling ahead by a commanding 3-1 lead. F3 on their heels at the moment. They need to turn it to another gear right now and see if they can shift the momentum.
Dwagon's gonna swap that up, finds Blade. Blade still has that initial speed. He's coming around the corner. He fires it to Miffin. Miffin tries, but Lynch is up to the task. Now here comes Dwagon, keeping that ball alive. Coming off the back wall, over to Miffin. Miffin gets tackled, and Salvatore comes away with it.
We got to see some big moves from FC right now. They're down by 2 whole rounds, so they got to be very careful about their approaches in this round. Otherwise, we're going to be seeing them go home a little earlier than they wanted today. G-Navy playing out from the top, trying to keep possession, but Miffin aggressive on that defense.
Pinata receiving a well-placed pass, but a tough finish there. Navy, though, recovering Dwagon, pins it down and sends it right back to Pinata for another go. Pinata losing the handles, but there's Lynch with a boost, a quick carve, and trying to send it to that wall. Pinata as well in the area. Blade manages to swing through, picks up control of the ball, and now is about to assault a fairly open goal. Finally covered off. Salvatore in the area. Doesn't matter. Coast to coast. Was Blade there making the most of that opportunity.
Blade gets another one. Now Salvatore down 1 and down in 2 rounds. He's up and he's going to flip that over to Pinata. Number 96 coming in. He flips that over to G-Navy. G-Navy gets a hand, but he gets tackled out by Miffin. Good physical play there coming in from Aesir.
Salvatore going for Pinata, able to connect there. Trying to go for the back pass. Salvatore connects also with a third over to Lynch. Can they finish the succession of passes? No, they can't. The defenders are just a little too aggressive there for them, unfortunately. Looks like they are going in for another attempt at their offensive plays as Navy coming in back.
Oh, good reset, but Navy dribbled it off the floor, I think unintentionally there, so kind of interrupted the cutting play they had going. They'll still reset for another go. Salvatore eyeing down the double defenders, diving out all at once. Still unable to break through as Miffin recovers. Over to Dwagon, that is. Oh, but a big pick and an open goal. Yes, sir, Salvatore.
Yes, sir, Salvatore coming up huge. Special shout out there to G-Navy. Putting in some work there. Now here comes Miffin, working that ball up, has some speed already, cutting into the middle, going skyward, comes in, turns and tries jabbing in, and Salvatore denies that one.
And they have just been hammering each other's offenses, and I gotta say so much credit again to the defense. Pinata sneaks around with a beautiful goalie assist there from Salvatore. Really get that tackle.
Yeah, bumping the goalie out of position, and you got to do what you got to do, reaching down to the bag of tricks. No matter how much people don't like it, it's a great strategy sometimes, and you need to do it against goalkeepers like this. Will be Navy taking it right back now for Formula 3. An opportunity to push this lead a little further.
G-Navy coming in. Oh, the ball hits the step and goes into the hands of Miffin, who's quickly turning that ball around, working it down into the trenches through the sewer. Oh, loses the handle a little bit, and there's Lynch to knock it free. It's going to be up for grabs. It's going to bounce back to the corner, and Kangi going to get challenged there by G-Navy. Now Miffin trying to get it out, but Pinata turning up that forecheck a little bit. Now Miffin able to get free and going to throw it off the onion ring.
Connecting into G-Navy's hand, goes for the cross over the teammate. No one's there really, actually, as it is now free for possession. Dwagon trying to follow up there, but everyone's fighting in the pit to really get their hands behind it. Lynch somehow surviving. Can they? No, they can't quite finish.
Oh, a tough miss. That would have been a wonderful goal to secure and feel more secure in this lead. Blade looking to punish, however, maybe tie it up instead on this turnaround. Does go down! So it could have been a 3-1 lead in this particular round. It's instead turned into a 2-2 tie yet again in the final minute. Every single round has been like this.
Salvatore just going to launch it ahead, looking for Pinata, and Blade's just going to hit it back. He doesn't get it by Lynch, who quickly brings it back. The rotation of Lynch is pretty amazing here. He's going to fire it across over to G-Navy. G-Navy gets one to miss, gets tackled from behind, and now Blade takes it the other way, working up the sidewalk. He's coming into the zone. He looks left, he looks right, he turns and he holds it. Maybe a little too long, and it goes into the hands of Miffin.
That's going to be hurting the Aesir squad. They want to secure this as soon as they possibly can, but looks like they have another chance at setting things up as Miffin coming down off the top. Takes the shot. No, it gets deflected by F3, but again, Kangi just hammering this offense.
Oh, and Kangi losing the boost juice and floated down helplessly. It was Salvatore taking full advantage. Miffin attempting to assault, but unable to do so as Salvatore vaults past the defense once. Twice, a pass, and finish, it's done! Formula 3 keeps themselves alive!
Woo-wee! Fellas!
What a stellar passing play that was, Juice.
Is it permissible for the casters to call a timeout? Because I think we all need to catch our breaths after those rounds, man. This is crazy, but no, that ball's back in the middle. Let's head back, here we go.
Yeah, love to see it, Juice. What an exciting match this has been. Again, one of the most consistent I've seen, truly, this weekend. Every single last minute of play, we're seeing these ties, 2 points apiece, basically. So these teams are putting everything on the line, but it is no mistake why they're right here this far in the tournament today.
We got Pinata trying to work that in. Dwagon hits him from the side. Miffin lobs it up. Now Dwagon taking to the sky. Here comes Aesir. Here comes Dwagon. Dwagon gets it by, and Dwagon puts it in. Aesir gets that all-important first goal.
Oh, that's got to be heartbreaking. It literally slipped right past F3's hands. I mean, I'm going to be replaying that time and time again. It's one of those, how did you miss it?
Yeah, those ones are the ones that could stick in your mind if you're not careful. Of course, these teams showing some great mental fortitude round to round so far, so we'll just have to wipe the mistakes of yesterminute if they want to come back and win it. Kangi, a tapping play over to Dwagon, who's not too rushed with it, just waiting for the defense to be lured in, but maybe a little too close as they do cause some damage and cause a turnover.
Salvatore now going to reset that back to Lynch. Number 17 looking sharp in that constellation pattern. Has it. He flips it across looking for G-Navy, but Blade's there. He takes a big knuckle sandwich from Lynch, and the ball pops over to Dwagon.
Almost a dangerous dive out there from that back liner. Oh, sorry, Martini. Will be Salvatore the cover here.
Salvatore coming off of the top, trying to keep possession right now for the F3 attack. They're looking around, trying to figure out how to go from there. It doesn't connect, though. Places a little too tall, wide, but they come in for a couple follow-ups, and this defense really being aggressive.
Super aggressive there. Pinata, though, coming away with it. Has a little bit of space, actually, so one dodge, a quick juke, and a quick oop to tie it at one.
Woo-wee! Some hot moves there coming in from Pinata, able to break down that defense. Now Miffin bringing it up over to the hoop-de-hoop. He cuts in. He has Blade, but he decides to hold it. Now he fires it. He tries to pick that corner. Can't find it. Lynch was all over it. Now Pinata bringing that ball the other way. He's going to stop. He's gonna look, and he's gonna just maybe kill some of that clock a little bit.
2.5 minutes left on the clock. Salvatore, no, they try to go in, but Lynch is there for the follow-up. Coming down off the top, goes to the backboard. Is G-Navy able to follow up? No, they can't again. These defenders are blocking these shots left and right, and it's got to be nerve-wracking for F3. This is, again, do or die for them in this series at this point with Aesir on that series point.
Absolutely, and quick on the heels there. To the ball first is Lynch, able to gather around that bridge. Some trolls underneath it. Watch out! But up high, a pass to G-Navy. Blade not far behind, but decides to back it up instead. 3 players diving on the offense, but Blade providing a good defensive stop. Salvatore with the recovery from the deep line. Cars from the ceiling. So appealing. A 1-point lead, F3.
Woo, that's a bird, it's a plane. It's Salvatore coming in from that sky. Lobbing that in, and Formula 3 has the lead. Now Miffin, liking being down a goal, trying to work it in, gonna set up from the perch. You see Dwagon on the right, you see Blade down low. I'm assuming Kangi's in there, waiting on that rotation in. Here comes Miffin over to Blade, Blade over to Dwagon, and ball pops up. Blade's gonna have it for a second, but there's Salvatore coming away with it.
Salvatore really waiting for possession at this point. F3 trying to figure out, hey, we got 1.5 minutes left on the clock. How do we maintain this lead? How do we not lose this? Is Miffin able to get possession now, as F3 did not work out in their favor. Coming off the top, takes a shot. It doesn't connect.
Well, we are just potentially seconds away from yet another round where the last minute the score is 2-2. Every single time here it seems to be happening. But Pinata not wanting that to happen. They want to see that 3-1 lead if possible. Dwagon, however, has something to say about it. They swipe on the ball, swiping down the floor. They dribble past the defenders, all on the backs, wearing them like some clothes to try to close the deal in this last 40 seconds of the round. It will be Blade with control.
Blade now looking to get that tying goal. He comes in. Oh, he gets tackled off. Dwagon gonna reset that pass back to Quang. You know it bounces back to Pinata. 30 seconds to go. F3 looking to put that nail in the coffin, but there's some solid defense still from Aesir. Ball pops up, and it's going to go into the hands of Salvatore. Salvatore bats off the wall, flips it over to Navy. Navy coming in from the sky, holds it, flips it over to Pinata. Pinata from the floor. They're doing a good job just killing the clock here, and they're going to flip it back to Salvatore.
And this is exactly what they wanted. Salvatore off the top. This is possession. They're up with the lead. They go for the spike and secure themselves on this round. They have guaranteed themselves a round 7 at this point. F3 and Aesir now going in for that tiebreaker.
Man, oh man, F3 with their namesake and wins now 3 on the board to Aesir's 3. The endurance is incredible. The mental fortitude from these teams is incredible. Not being discouraged at all from loss to loss. Both teams have been incredibly consistent here today. The absolute top of the line gameplay, I must say. And because of that, we got ourselves that coveted round 7. Doesn't get any better than that in a finals weekend.
Here we go. This round's for the marbles. Winners will move on to face Ignite. Now Miffin in the back of their own zone with some speed, looking to turn that corner. Heck of a speed. Let's go on board. Let's watch the action. Here comes Miffin, shoots, and Salvatore with the block. Kangi's going to flip that back on the reset.
That is going to be heartbreaking. But hey, Blade coming in for the follow-up. They're trying to keep hammering this offense once more. Plays off the top, goes for the pass. Wagon comes in with the connection. Oh my.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty. Held onto that ball to the absolute last second, drawing out the defenders and finding a beautiful delivery for the easiest possible goal.
Now we got Pinata bringing that ball right to the ground. He likes that ground game. He's trying to juke around. He gets smothered there by Aesir, but Salvatore has it. Miffin comes away. Miffin throws it. Here it comes. Is it going to go? No, because Lynch is there.
Be read by Lynch, moving it down, tries to go for that deep clear right into Kangi's hand, though that might have been a waste of possession, honestly, by the F3 squad, especially with Aesir being up a 1, now up 2, as Wagon sinks in a second goal in this round.
Not what you want to see if you're F3, but a thing of beauty for Aesir, breaking the trend a little bit, already at 2 points, only about a minute and a half or so into this final round. So a trend breakage, we'll see if that continues into a snowball effect. Formula 3 really has to be careful. They need a score, and that's not going to do it. A shot from way far out will be saved with ease.
Here comes Miffin, bringing it back the other way quickly, trying to catch him off guard. Juke and jive in, throw it in, and will put it in past all four. Miffin's a bad man.
I mean, look at this Aesir team. Their momentum is just skyrocketing at this point. This is the biggest lead I believe we've seen in this series between these two teams. F3 really has to step it up, otherwise a 3-point lead by Aesir, it's looking a little scary.
Yes, it is, and so is Miffin, looking scary on this approach. Has Dwagon as well for the pass, but these players still aggressing, trying to keep their hopes alive in this final half of the final round. Dwagon being assaulted, Blade saved by Pinata. So a great save there to keep the hopes, but let's see if they can make it into an offensive play on the other side of the floor.
Pinata ducks by one, and he's going to get mean mugged there from Blade. Pinata, though, keeps that ball. He gets by the defense. Now coming in on Kagi. Here comes the goalie. Stuck Kagi and fades it, and able to get the save. That's how you deal with goalie stunners.
You gotta beat those 2v1s. You gotta beat those 2v1s, especially when you're F3 right now and you're down 3 points. Aesir again looking really good. 2 minutes on the clock. F3 has to make a move here as Miffin tries to maintain possession for the Aesir squad.
Indeed, each of these mistakes more and more costly as the time winds down. Wagon aware of the situation, and so is Navy. A great pickpocket there off to the left side to Pinata. Once again, Pinata needs to find some plays, keep their team alive. Can they do it? And it will be no. Nothing going for them. Miffin snagging it out of there. Right back, though, to Pinata. Blade on the back. Pinata turning around to find Blade in his back. A back stabber. And at the moment, a minute 30 left as Lynch grabs control. They need to score right about now.
Lynch gets it over to Pinata. Salvatore trying to keep that ball alive. Lynch is there too, but Miffin comes up with it. Miffin's just going to lob it down and look to kill some of that clock. We got about a minute and change to go. G-Navy gonna look to spring Pinata. He finds him. Here comes Pinata. He flips it across looking for Salvatore, but Kagi's there to beat him to the ball.
Able to connect into Blades, and it does get picked by those defenders, but it does return right into the dangerous hands of a Dwagon. Go for that deep cross reset into Kangi's hand, but these defenders have just been trying to keep them from getting any more goal scoring opportunities. But I mean, check the clock out, y'all. I don't know if you've noticed it. It's getting really close mathematical time at this point. It's looking really bad for F3.
And yeah, they're trying their best to get something going, but that clock is their worst enemy. Might as well be Vecna at this point, and they feel themselves at great threat of execution at the late end of round 7. Blade just securing the one more goal to guarantee, and with that, time is certainly going to be out at Aesir without leaving anything on the table. It wasn't an easy job, but they may just win this in a few seconds.
Kangi getting one last save on the stat board. Now Miffin has it. Will we see the final spike? And it pops up. Salvatore maybe looking for one. No, it hits the ground, and that match is going to go to Aesir by a score of 4-0 in that round.
This is Sir Dimwat powering down.
I mean, honestly, a heartbreaking ending, I think, for the F3 squad. We saw them just do so good. Rounds 1 through 6, forced it into a round of 7, and then, I mean, they lose it all round 4-0 on that last one against Aesir. And I gotta say, you know, this goes beyond just, you know, Ryan Drift. If anyone knows, this goes into organizational beef at this point. Aesir has consistently be in Formula 3 in other leagues, and I think it's kind of the continuation of what we call the F3 curse. A top 8 team, even sometimes a top 3 or top 2 team consistently, but never the champion.
Yeah, Martini, I remember back at VRML Con watching Breachers, right, and seeing F3 kind of coming out of the brackets as a bit of a Cinderella story. Almost made it all the way to that championship glory, but as you mentioned, you know, Aesir hurting on them at the end there. And then F3, just a fantastic season for them. Have to congratulate them because they were 13-2 on the regular season, and they just took the #1 rated Aesir, who was 13-1 in their own right. They took them to their absolute limits. So at least something to build on for F3 going forward. But Aesir just standing tall, definitely should be proud of their game. But they got to, unfortunately, got to concentrate on the next one because they still have a minimum, if they want to win, a minimum of 2 best-of-7s they need to take on Ignite in the championship bracket.
Woo-hoo! We saw a matchup yesterday. In the matchup yesterday, Aesir mercied the first round, and then Ignite came back and won the next 4. So I checked in with the Aesir players, and they're ready. They think they figured some out. So I'm expecting a good game. But special shout out to Formula 3. All season they've been grinding hard. Getting third in a stacked lineup of teams like this is nothing to be ashamed of. So good work, you guys. You can wear that badge with pride.
100%. Martini, any other parting thoughts here before we prepare for our main event of not just the evening, but the season?
We talk about Infamy, right? And Ignite is definitely one that is, I think, more infamous to go beyond just the OG community. But just talking about OG, we're talking about Aesir now having to play against a team that has won, technically, Pioneer Cup, Ignition Cup, a VRML Con 2025, and who knows, maybe even Season 1 at this point, but we'll see in just a bit as we come into the grand finals in just a bit between the top 2 teams we're technically in the NA side of things.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a short intermission break, and we'll be back with the main event of the season, the grand finale, Aesir versus Ignite. So don't go anywhere. VRML Network, we'll be right back.
Yes, it is.
Not easy to maintain ball control and move like these guys are moving.
I love to see teams evolve with gameplay.
I'm always saying nope, it ain't going deep. That's it.
For that pass cross, hits out forward. Over to Pinata, who puts it in the goal.
This is what we see out of our players. This is the VR Master League Orion Drift.
I got champion DNA, yeah. Turn my words into plays. I don't fold, I'm not a pig. I just level up the stage. I got champion DNA. Turn my worries into plays. I don't fold, I'm not a pig. I just level up the stage. I got champion DNA.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the NA Grand Finals. We have Aesir facing off, of course, against Ignite, the previous multi-time winning champion. So it'll be a little challenging for the Aesir squad. But of course, my name is Martini. I have Juice and Palador in the casting booth with me today. How are y'all feeling about this match?
Oh, doing great, Martini. I'm so excited as always. I don't know how many years now, year to year, doesn't matter the game. I come onto these streams and, oh, look, it's Ignite. Oh, look, it's Ignite. Well, now we have Aesir, who's been dominant in their own right across multiple leagues here in VRML. We just saw them go through the trials, the tribulations, and through an absolute war with Formula 3 just moments ago. It took them all the way to 7 rounds to get the job done. Now they have to do it again against Ignite, not once, but twice. Juice.
Sorry, I needed a moment of silence because after this one, the season is officially done. But we have spot for one more team in that Robot Crusher. We have one more elimination death match here. We got Aesir, we got Ignite. I think the players are getting closer to being ready to line up. Hopefully they line up soon. We can get one last player intros for the grand finales. I hope you guys enjoyed the season, the cast. I know I enjoyed it. That's why I was here day after day, casting the hype for the homies, sending out the clips. It's what it's all about, and it all comes down to right here, right now.
And one of the stories I want to also point out too, of course, is Aesir, the #1 ranked team from that regular season, and there were a lot of questions about how the match would go with Ignite yesterday. Ignite's been successful in this tournament, only dropping 1 round, and that 1 round was to Aesir, although in an unlikely fashion, because that was the opening round yesterday in the semis, and it was Aesir who actually mercied Ignite in the first round. But then that woke up the sleeping giants, as we've seen so many times before, and then they reversed them the rest of the way. So a lot of stories at play. Martini, one of the things we also heard about, caught wind about in the Discords and what have you. The last game, apparently, this is the retirement tour for the great Swag War. Rise to fame across leagues. He's been a dominant player, top of his game. But the claim is this is Swag's last dance, and maybe his last chance to be a champion here in VRML. Again.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine a better way to retire than, of course, winning after another grand champion. So we'll see if Swagwar gets to walk away with that title before retirement. But even if they don't, they already have multiple titles under their belt. So it's not that much of a loss. Unfortunately, a loss for the community, as we'll be losing potentially if they actually end up not going. But losing a great player, so that's unfortunate for us. But I mean, that's just how it is with VR esports. People come in, they go. Unfortunately, not everyone's always going to be around forever, as we've learned many time again. But we'll see what ends up happening. I mean, Aesir might be able to take the the win from them here. Who knows? I mean, I'm looking at the poll right now. I put it up. Ignite 66% to Aesir's 34, 114 votes. So a lot of votes coming in on this one. We're seeing the viewers slowly trickle in. We're at 166 already. I think it's a very, very highly expected finals right here. You know, especially from, again, Ignite, a multi-title winning team. It would be a shock if they did it here, but I'm always a sucker for an underdog, so I'm hoping we see some great plays from Aesir.
It looks like the players are ready for the final time this season. Let's head to the arena for your starting lineups. Coming in for representing the Ignite organization, trying to make special shout out to Far Proud. We got Big Bad Baz. We got Slip. We got potentially his final match, Swag War. And we got the newest, well, one of the newest additions to the Ignite lineup. We got Little Steven, who's not so little with his gameplay, over on the other side, representing Aesir. I believe their owner is Leviathan. Special shout out. We got Blade. We got Dwagon. We got Miffin. And we got Kangi. Your starting lineups for this grand finale is here on the VRML network. Let's go, boys.
I think one of the first things that we'll be looking out for between these two teams is that defensive play. That's something I've noticed at the top tier of Orion Drift. It's not just who can score, but who can hold back and defend against goal scoring opportunities. And that's exactly what we saw from Aesir in the previous game. They had so many attempts at holding back the goal. So we'll see what ends up happening here.
Also, special shout out to EO, watching from the sidelines. You my goat, homie.
The game begins.
All right, we're off and
rolling.
Oh, go ahead.
We will go. Here it goes. Dwagon, the possession, as well as Blade, coming off hot. That big best-of-7 match against F3, needing to do it twice against Ignite. Of course, the bracket reset, the advantage for Ignite having won the brackets yesterday. Will be Swag with possession now, looking to cause first blood.
Okay, he gets it now. Gonna sky it down to Dwagon. It's gonna be above. And Slip takes it the other way. Here comes Slip threatening in on that goal. He fires it over to Swag, and he gets interrupted, and that ball's gonna be up for grabs.
Little Steven trying to keep that possession right now for the time being. Goes for that deep clear over to the Swag War as they're playing off the top of Halo. I mean, look at Ignite. They're playing so slow right now, really maintaining possession for as long as they possibly can. Unfortunately, goes a little too wide there, but Little Steven trying to recover his Blade. Now moving possession for Aesir.
There's Baz, a quick tackle on Miffin. Baz trying to send it down to Swag. Swag has it swiped by Blade, and Blade in a hurry sends it downfield in a dangerous area, but Slip is there for the quick recovery. No one in the general zone, so has time to work it up the floor before Dwagon attempts to catch up. But the offense here, paced well, spaced well. Maybe this next pass about to be placed well, but they're going to back it out, showing that disciplined gameplay that they are known for. Although a big tackle there will reverse it to Blade's possession.
Blade coming in from the sky, tries to get to Miffin, it won't go. Dwagon maintains possession for Aesir. Gonna swat it over to Miffin. Miffin gets by Little Steven, gets by Slip. Here he comes, he has Dwagon, he holds it and puts it in. Miffin makes it 1-0 Aesir.
That is going to be making Ignite a little bit nervous as we see Aesir starting off with a lead. But as we've learned time and time again, getting the lead is not the end-all, be-all, but it does help at least start rolling the momentum for your team. Swag, we're fighting for possession against Blade as they're fighting it all out on the sides. They're fighting it out on Claw, fighting it out in the air.
And Swag with a lot of moves and a lot of slaps on these players saying, get away from me. I'm too old for this. I'm retiring soon. Leave me alone. You know, Far had a great quote that I'll get to a little bit later, just talking about Swag's last dance and stuff, mentioning, you know, it's a victory lap for someone who's dedicated their life to this sport. I guess I'll just get to it now. He said, I'd hate to have a stand in the arena on the other side facing the legend and his legacy. At the same time, Far says, I think there's no better time to make your name and prove that you're up next. And that's what Aesir is trying to do here in Orion Drift.
Absolutely. Now Miffin bringing that ball and is set up on the perch. Has Kangi to the right as Dwagon to the left. Now holds it, looks, flips it over to Kangi. Kangi gets by, coming in from the sky. Flips it over to Dwagon. Dwagon gets denied by Ignite.
The shot attempts from Ignite, from Aesir, have not been looking too great right now, as Ignite's defense, though, really keeping it back from going any further. But look at the clock. We're already 3 minutes into this round and only one goal on the board. So I'm really amazed right now. This is probably the lowest scoring game we've seen, but Ignite taking a shot down there.
And just a gorgeous 1-2 pass to Slip to complete it. It's fundamental, it's fun, it's mental. You've heard me say it before, but it works year after year, right? That team play is what makes champions in this game and across our leagues.
Now Baz trying to work that down the field. He's going to throw that towards the goal, but Kangi's there, coming in hot. Oh no, he loses it to Little Steven. Little Steven throws it too high, and it'll be spun to the side by Aesir.
Really feels like these two teams are trying to poke and prod and see what's going on in this first game. A little slower, a little bit lower scoring from both of these sides, but they are trying to figure out the other team. Swagor with possession now, moving it off the top, going down to Halo, maybe looking out for one of their teammates, sends it a Slip, slips a pass. No, it doesn't connect to pass.
Oh, you saw the intent there, but just slightly mistimed, and those mistakes can be costly here. The last 38 seconds of gameplay, way in the back line. Oh, a big miss from Baz as well as Kangi. Both of them will result in the goal eventually. Ignite down for most of this match, but now ahead by 1.
We got 26 seconds to go. Things are heating up. Aesir needs a goal to send it into extra time. Miffin now working that ball in, goes up top, the ball spikes free, and Swag picks it up and clears it out.
10 seconds on, Swagor coming in for one last attempt, just going past Slip's hands as Kangi trying to keep possession, trying to keep the ball up, but there's only 2 seconds on the clock. They got to slam that down, and that's going to be a 2-1 win for Ignite. Talk about a solid lead, but, I mean, what did we see in that last round?
Yeah, you know, Ignite, again, behind for a while there. Low-scoring game, granted, so when I say behind, it's just a matter of 1 point, essentially. But nonetheless, we saw that opening from Aesir in day 1, or yesterday, that is to say, where they swept Ignite, and then it kind of took a while for them to work into their game, and that's kind of been Ignite's story, as the story right now is Swag right in his bag of tricks. It's a 1-point advantage right off the bat.
Kangi almost got that save with an Ignite player all up in his business. Miffin now coming right back with some speed, but there's Ignite. Little Steven getting a hand on it. It's going to go around. Little Steven flips it into that neutral zone. Here comes Kangi, bringing it right back in. He's working it around the wall. He has Twag, and oh no, the ball pops free, and Bass swats it out.
Swagor maintaining possession, going down for the deep pass. No, it gets read by Aesir. Aesir trying to keep going, but Swag coming in again off of that possession. And I don't know what is going on with both of these teams, but they're just flying and flinging the ball across the arena. They got to be careful. They want to maintain possession, not lose it.
Of course, neither team wanting to give an inch, and there's a wall of defenders. Dwagon receiving the pass, Swag bothering it, Blade being bothered by Little Steven as well. Some good defense pressed up right up against them as Kangi from the back line will dribble, will juggle, and right through the bubble of defenders, but it's Little Steven. Another big play coming in, denying that first opportunity at a score as Miffin paves the way, though, on a goal. Momentarily exposed, the defense back in the area, a little skewed on the shot, and Slip with the ball coming through the mid zone.
Slip now bringing it through the neutral zone, out through the trench, coming in on Kangi, turns and fires and puts it in. We got 2-0 for Aesir, or for Ignite now.
Dare I say they're igniting their momentum. Definitely looking a lot more active this game, I gotta say, than in round 1. I think round 1 they were a lot more possession focused, and we're seeing a lot more action finally.
Yeah, that it does seem to be the case here. It took several minutes for Ignite to get their first goal, but now that sweet pass from Slip to Baz, they're up 3. A perfect lead in more ways than one. A pass, the scoreboard. Aesir falling behind, needing to dig deep here, not to fall behind too much in this best-of-7 series.
The ball's going to bounce down. Here comes Little Steven with that goal open.
Oh my god!
Things aren't looking good for Aesir right now, as Ignite's up 4-0.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on the Ignite side, but they are on fire. 4-0 right now. Aesir, they're looking a little scared, I gotta say.
Yeah, there's some deja vu going on, I believe, in Acer's mind. They're thinking, wait, we recognize this rhythm. This is not the one we wanted. They just had an awesome match with F3, but at the moment, Ignite is just giving them a repeat of what happened yesterday. Of course, Acer, again, the leading team for that matter, in the standings across our league in Season 1 for NA. But at the moment, Ignite is just making every play work with ease. They're getting a lot of high percentage buckets.
What a goal coming in. Little Steven, shocking moves.
With that,
Shocking.
Go ahead.
Shocking indeed. Miffin coming in with the rollout there, trying to keep this up. But, I mean, when we're staring down 5-0 lead from Ignite, it's scary, but it doesn't matter as Acer at least trying to break this momentum.
Sometimes all it takes is that one goal to go. There's not a lot of time on the clock, but there's more than enough time to right the ship in terms of the mentals, in terms of the fundamentals. So that is the focus, I think, right now for Acer, regardless of the results of this round. Just get a few more shots to go down, just like that. Blade now doing the damage, slicing through the defense appropriately, in fact, as we get into this last minute of action.
Now here we go, Swag. Probably gonna look to kill some of the clock. No, he's gonna just look to end it, and he skies it, goes coast to coast. Ignite back up by 4.
I mean, the last couple of goals, they've essentially just been coming in and dunking off of each other. But again, you're staring down a 6-2 lead from Ignite. Miffin go for the cross, doesn't quite connect, but Blade still able to recover as it does get picked up by those defenders. And I gotta be thinking, you know, for Acer, what do you do for the upcoming round? Because at this point, I think they're way past mathematical time. I don't think it's possible to get those 4 goals in such a short amount of time. But really, it's about breaking this Ignite momentum.
Exactly, breaking the momentum, breaking any bad habits that might have been forming across this round. Blade looking for the passing play. I like it to Dwagon. Oh, but it struggled a little bit on the slap. Just kind of grazed the side of the hand and didn't get a lot of sauce behind it. But that's the key. The thing is, normally in these situations, as we get maybe one more play to go, normally in the situations, I would say, you know, take all the time in between the rounds to refocus, to re-strategize. You know, sometimes you have those minutes or so, or at least a minute of downtime. But as the case has been across this tournament this weekend, these players are leaving no time to spare. Now they're throwing the ball right back in the middle. They're getting right back into the action. So, you know, no time to breathe. You just gotta go.
We are going. We're going back to the arena. The ball's in the middle. Let's go. Let's see if Acer could get something going. That ball's in the sewer. Here comes Little Steven. Little Steven with the moves, and Kagi gets a great save.
That's exactly what I want to see from the Acer squad. Again, they've been struggling this time around in terms of their defensive plays, especially, I mean, we saw that round 2, 6-2. That's a little scary to be on the Acer side of things as they are maintaining possession. Miffin coming in, trying to play off the top, looks for that shot, takes it, but Baz able to read it.
Miffin with a good look and a pocket aim, but Baz says, I'm gonna pocket this one, and now I'm gonna drop it on the other side. There's Baz attempting to play, but Miffin getting him back with a denial on the pass attempt there. Slip still gathering right back for Ignite. They have Baz on the backboard, Swag over at the Halo. The defense, though, from Miffin again with high aggression now, trying to teach a lesson to these players on Ignite to break the ice. There's Miffin juking once, juking twice. Super nice as a no denial there. Right back to Blade on the bounce.
There's Baz just clearing that out, but there's Kagi bringing it right back, keeping that pressure on. Ignite's backpedaling, but now on that back check, there's Swag getting that ball knocked out to Little Steven.
Playing off the top of Halo, Ignite looking how to move this down the arena. No one's scoring quite yet, which is, again, another long period of really slow scoring from both of these teams, which is, again, very, very interesting to watch. Slip able to maintain possession, though, as they look for a passing opportunity, but they have not been making it easy for the defenders.
Not at all, and you know, this pace, I will say, it must be at least a slight relief to Acer. Of course, they want to see some scores on the board themselves, but after eating so many points in that last round, well, it was 6 or 7 or so, that was, I didn't do that on purpose, I swear. That was one of the cases, I swear, but that was one of the cases where you're happy to see the 0-0 on the scoreboard.
Little Steven now putting in some work. Oh, and there's Kangi getting a hand on it, getting it up to Blade, who springs over, trying to find Miffin. Miffin gets tackled there, and it's going to be loose. Back in Ignite zone.
Little Steven playing again off the top. They're trying to figure out how to pick this one. Kangi though, reading that shot, takes a long shot, but Swag were able to read that one, and that is not going to be going in for the time being. Again, both of these teams really poking and prodding, trying to figure out where there is an opening, and unfortunately, they're not quite seeing anything right now. But I think you're right, Palador. I think Acer's probably relieved a little bit, especially as they're the first one to take the lead in this round.
Let me tell you, that is a massive shrug of the shoulders, just wiping the sweat off the brow and kind of relaxing the body a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit, saying, okay, we finally broke some long-standing ice going back to the last round as well, getting a score on the board, but still 2 minutes to spare. And at this point, the clock is the worst enemy in that sense for Aesir, but they're pressing now maybe for another lead. There's Miffin losing the ball for a moment, still maintaining the handles with Swag with some good defense to knock it out of there. Little Steven just as well.
Slip now, passes that over to Swag. Swag on the run. He's going to bounce off the ceiling, coming in from the corner of the Halo. Now up from the nest, he holds it, he fires it, and it's going to be swatted to the side over to Baz.
Does get picked up by Kangi in the end there, getting right past Slip. Dragon takes the shot though, but Swagor going to be able to read that one. Want to give a quick shout out to Rainsy in the chat for that super chat. We always love seeing the super chats, as it does help support the channel, as these teams again, Ace, are maintaining this defense.
And Slip maintaining control, watching the defenders slip on by and getting their first goal attempt. A mislead to Baz, like the intent, but execution not quite there. Slip still trying to make up for it. Another pass attempt off the backboard, and Swagmore, oh, the punch. I love that play because they had so many divers on that goal that even when the first pass was a bit strong, they still had another player to come in and tap it off for that rebounded play.
Tied up at one, Miffin now. Bringing that ball in, setting it up, throws it at the goal, and that was Dwagon, I believe, causing a ruckus, a little bit of confusion. Acer up 2-1.
I mean, talk about beautifully timed the goalie tackling. That's exactly what they needed right there. Swag, though, coming quick off of that. What a shot already. I mean, imagine, Acer, you're feeling the lead, you're feeling great, but Ignite just keeps dunking back.
That's Swag, just a little bit miffed at that, saying, okay, you know what, you're going to score. I can do it too. Carries the ball right across the floor, but you know what, Miffin the same way. Miffin has a lot of speed in his own tank, but being disabled by some tackles. Ball going back to Dwagon. We might be at threat of an overtime. Miffin with a pass attempt down to Blade, but it's a tough conversion. Swag slapping it, bouncing it. A recovery from Kangi. We are in OT as Kangi dives down towards the goal. Has the option. Miffin on a mission. Acer will take the round.
This is Sir Dimwat powering down until our next meeting.
Acer takes that one in a
goodness,
thrilling.
chat lighting up as well. We see Bananas in there, going bananas with the chat, super chat. We see Goblin and Blue Fire. This match is on fire.
We're back and rolling. Here we go. Slip has that ball coming in hot. He's going to throw it up. Looking for that rebound, but Kangi able to thwart that effort. No, Little Steven gets it back. It goes up. Blade's there. Can't get it. It goes over to Slip. Now Dwagon comes away and will just clear that into the sidewalk area.
I mean, Ignite's going to be feeling that last round a loss. I think we've talked about it earlier. I think the only team that really left any rounds to was Acer, and here they are again, Acer with a round in the pocket. But again, it's a best-of-7 series. They need to win not 3, but 4 total games in this series. So we'll see what ends up happening. Acer finally a little better, but still down from Ignite's 2-1 series lead. Kangi moving it down.
Kangi from up above taking the escalator and is waiting for the players to fan the floor. Losing the handles, however, so a miscue could possibly be punished as Baz tries to take control. Gets it over to Slip. Slip has some momentum behind him, carving around from left to right and right on the money with a delight of a pass for Ignite.
A little two-handed special coming in from Little Steven. And it's 1-0 Ignite here. In the 4th round, they're getting wound up. Here comes Miffin with some speed. Wearing it right up the middle. Juke and jab. It goes up. Loses the ball. Trying to get it back, and Little Steven's going to clear that back down the other way. It's coming in hot. Will it? No, it just misses it. Kangi clears it.
Truly heartbreaking. I was clutching my pearls, waiting to see if it would just go there, but it didn't quite. But hey, still Ignite with the 1-0 lead. 3 minutes on the clock, so that there still is a fair amount of time for Aesir to recover from this slip. Moving it around, takes the shot. It's 2 points on the board now for Ignite.
There didn't want to make you clutch your pearls again, so they just got the pearly gates instead. Smiling about that with their pearly whites. And my goodness, here we go, back again.
Thanks for your donation there, Chris. Appreciate you, homie. Glad you could be watching at work. Here comes Miffin now, coming in from the sky, shoots, and Swag gets a save. And Slip's gonna look to get it out. Dwagon, though, causing a ruckus. They're fighting for it in that neutral zone. And it looks like Dwagon is gonna reset, bump it up. No, Swag comes in. Swag keeping that pressure on that forecheck. He gets tackled off, and the ball goes over to Kangi.
Still in Kangi's hand, playing off the top of Halo. Swag, though, coming in for the tackle. Baz on the backs of these players. And slipping right past him. Everyone takes the shot. And I mean, nothing more than a more fitting name than Slip.
Exactly, and Slip with some speed on the stream. Call him a Slip stream. Has all the momentum every time. He seems to come out of nowhere, but he gets that ball and already has all the speed he needs to score over some helpless defenders. We've seen it several times now. Something certainly to address if you are on Acer's side, but Acer right now has a lot of other problems to deal with because they have not yet broken the ice, and that is not nice. Oh my goodness, the big heave. Little Steven
Getting it from 61.6 meters, putting Ignite up 4-0. Now here we go, we got a battle for it in the sidewalk area. Baz brings it the other way. Here comes Baz, putting on the moves, goes to the sky, comes down, he gets tackled off. Little Steven trying to keep it alive, but it goes into the hands of Kangi, who's just going to look to clear it over to Miffin.
4-0, talk about a dominant round. Trying to take another shot, though, but it doesn't quite connect in the way that they needed it. Acer, I think, really trying to scrap together at least a goal, maybe even a 2, because they have to do something to shut down this Acer momentum. Or sorry, Ignite.
Well, exactly, and that's the thing you think going into that last round, a hype game-ending goal there at the end for Acer. Give them some momentum, give them some confidence going to the next, but instead Ignite just shrugged it off and said, it's nothing to us. You know, they lose rounds here and there, not too often, but that's, again, the mark of the experienced teams who have been there and won championships. Is they know how to just forget about those little losses, and they come back just as stronger the next time around. And Acer has not quite had an answer for them as we get these last 30 seconds now.
And here we go, Little Steven looking for another one, but Dwagon with a good defense stop there. Swag throws it up, but there's Kangi holding down that goal for Acer. He feeds it over to Miffin. Miffin comes in, he launches it ahead. It's going to be Swag who sends that back the other way. We got 15 seconds to go.
This is one of those moments, if I were on the Acer side, I'd want to take maybe a longer break if possible. A shot coming in from Ignite, sinking in a 5-0, and I mean, a definitive lead.
Yeah, absolutely. They can do this infinitely, I think, with the clock now winding down. But Ignite in full form at the moment. And Acer, to your point, Martini, is they definitely need to use the remaining seconds, lack thereof, to score. There you go. And now just breathe a little bit, calm it down, because this has been a stark contrast to their previous win. Ignite back in full fire, it seems like.
It looks like that ball's back in the middle. Well, let's head back there now.
No break? Wow.
Oh, there, we're back. All right, where we got? We got Blade with it now. He's working that ball down. He's going to take to the sky. He flips that over. He's going to bounce off the Halo and be up for grabs in that sidewalk area. Dwagon tries slapping at it. Slaps it twice. Now gets it free. Now gets by one, flips that over to Kangi. Here comes Kangi, swats it down. But there's Swag just around, gaining speed there to pick up the ball.
Playing off the top again, looking for those passing options. Goes over to Baz, connects, slip though, able to get their hand behind that. A point on the board, lead already to Ignite.
Didn't take very long. Acer just trying to see what they can do, what they can change up. As you mentioned, no break in between the rounds, so really nothing they could do in terms of communicating. They just need to figure it out live and in the action, and if there's a team who can do it, it's this one. Oh, he won't miss that one. It's a big shot to tie things up, breaking some ice from last round once again over a pair of dived defenders.
All right, now picking up that ball is Swag, tied at 1. He has some more wicked speed. Here he comes. No, the ball just free. Miffin's going to take it the other way and just throw it down to where they can grab it in the trench. Oh, bobbles it a little bit. Now going to have some pressure. This is a little Steven, and they're going to be fighting for it still.
Gotta give a quick shout out to the $41.67 super chat there. I do appreciate it. We all appreciate that, of course, on the channel for Fractal there, as we do keep going into this current round with a current equalizer of 1-1. Ignite, though, really trying to keep that pressure up.
Absolutely appreciate that from Fractal as Miffin fractures the shot attempt. So keeping this one dead even at the moment at 1-1. Little pass to themselves as Miffin, though, being assaulted by so many defenders, couldn't handle it for all too long. In the deep back line, Kangi is there, but not in a great position to get that one. So now it's going to be a race for control. Kangi, a leap over the defenders like a kangaroo indeed, as Slip goes on through with control of the ball, looking to maybe get a 1-point advantage here with a quick attack on this scattered defense.
That ball's going to be in the Aesir corner there. Miffin bounces it off the wall. Trying to get away from one, does. Takes a look back now, flips it up to Dwagon. Here comes Dwagon on Slip. Dwagon shoots and Dwagon scores. What a shot. 2-1 Aesir leads.
That's exactly what Aesir wanted. It's been a rough couple rounds, I gotta say, for them. But hey, they showcased this is Ignite. It's scary. They do bleed, though. They do bleed, as we saw that first round from Aesir. When, as I say that, Ignite, of course, sinks another one in.
Yeah, unfortunately, fire does cauterize the wound, and Ignite is exactly that. Well, we'll be back now to Miffin, and Miffin, understanding they have 2 minutes now to determine their fate, because one more win for Ignite, that will be the crowning of a champion here. So a score is pertinent as ever for Aesir to stay in this tournament.
That ball's going to be spanked around. Miffin has it. Aesir doing a good job here, but Slip's going to end up with it. He now gets some separation, takes a look back. He's bringing that ball. He hits the brakes, and goes to the sky. He gets tackled there. Dwagon do a good job staying with him, and that ball's going to end up in Blade's hands.
Oh, that was a beautiful connection on that no-look pass to their teammate to the middle there, as they can't quite get their hand behind a little Steven, though, able to at least wrangle some possession for Ignite, but it looks like Aesir able to follow up.
And with that, a lost ball for a moment is picked up by Miffin, picked up by Dwagon, and Miffin now splitting off downfield for a potential assault on the goalie. Oh. And indeed, that's exactly what happens. Beautiful recognition from both players, Dwagon as well. Just understanding, okay, we got some numbers. We have a tackle potentially to enable a high percentage shot. That's what they needed to pull ahead here.
Slip now, throwing it off the back wall. Kangi gets a hand on it, goes over to Swag. Swag War hits a beautiful wall card, bounces off the ceiling, gets his pocket picked by Blade. We got 30 seconds to go in this round. Here comes Baz from the back line, throws it towards the goal, but it ends up going straight down.
Miffin with the follow-up here, dealing with almost two defenders there, but it doesn't work out. A little bit of an unfortunate bounce, but it does go right into Slip's hand. Ignite's got 10 on the clock. They want to do something here. They don't want to allow them to get another round. Baz with the 360 shot, but it doesn't go in their favor. It's going to be going in the air. Never mind. I was going to say, wow, we're really going to play this one out. Aesir, though, winning out this round of 3-2.
What an excellent job from Aesir to hunker down, dig down deep, and guarantee we see another round yet. But of course, going right into it, no time to waste. Already the ball back in the middle. These players are hungry, they're in a hurry, and so is Slip. Oh my goodness, a 5-second goal.
Yes, sir. I got a little bit of technical difficulties here. Take it away, Martini.
as it doesn't quite work out. Miffin coming around the corner, looks to take a shot, and what is going on? Ignite took a shot. Aesir took a shot.
Shots, 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 everybody. Wow, a quick start to this round, and we'll see if that sets the tone, sets the pace. Slip, not quite in place. Kangi is there for the takeaway. Swag with a turnaround fadeaway. Looking like Kobe there, as now it will be Blade coming through, Slip rather, and Miffin, but Baz from the top of the line has Dwagon meeting him halfway across the skyway. Will be Swag now pulling it out there with a tapper, and that is very near the goal. Miffin now coming out of it with the ball.
That ball's going to pop up. It's going to go up to Blade. Blade now circles around, brings that ball. He fires it over to Dwagon. Dwagon slow rolling it, throws it right to the ground, looking for Miffin. Miffin now sneaks up on the halo and going to bring it wide on the sidewalk. Looking for players to pass to. No one's there. Decides to put on some moves. Turns and fires, but the Ignite defense stands tall.
You know, that's one of those moments. I got to be telling Aesir, you got to utilize your teammates, because, I mean, soloing does work in this game, but you saw it was one versus, I think, a whole team, and they still tried to take it in. It just didn't quite work out for them in the end there, but they try to keep possession right now for the Ignite side of things, but no, they're fighting and tackling.
And swarming them in the midline. Swagwar, though, growing some wings, going to the sky, now dealing with Blade right at the halo. An awkward bounce will still get right back to Kangi, fortunately for Aesir. So Aesir has a chance to maybe push up here for a lead. If they can get those passing games, they do have the lanes filled out quite nicely. It's just a matter of finding the mark. There it is, but a little strong. And the ball will return now to a Slip here.
Slip now working it down the sidewalk. Good defense there from Aesir. Nothing there. No pass option. Swag turns and fires. The Kangi's there.
Oh.
Slip gets saved. And now Baz is going to be tackled off that ball.
I mean, talk about nasty attempt at a no-look behind the back shot there, as Kangi able to follow that one up, keep possession for the time being, keeping it up right now for the Aesir squad. And again, this is looking a lot better for Aesir than we had seen in those first couple rounds against Ignite. We're seeing 1-1, a little bit slower in terms of actual scoring opportunities.
That said, a tough giveaway there will provide an opportunity for Swag, unable to convert on it. So instead, Miffin going towards that sky, Baz retreating towards the goal, as well as Lil Steven now forming out the defense. Miffin a little fake on the pass, but couldn't find it. Lost the handles at the end, as well as the boost. Juice, the loose ball, though, going Dwagon's way.
Dwagon gonna get tackled off, but here comes Blade coming in from that back line, confusing the defense. Aesir takes a 2-1 lead.
Hey, I mean, you know, part of my brain's thinking reverse sweep, question mark? As Aesir coming in 2-1 with the lead there, Pally.
Yeah, maybe. I was talking about deja vu earlier from day one, and maybe we're seeing the reverse because Aesir is coming back with some power. They're showing that they're here to stay. They've been there, the mainstays at the top of the league, with the main plays from these guys. A maze on the defensive end, so it's not going to be an easy route. They still have 1 minute and 20 to hold on to this lead.
There's a crazy little flip save there from Swag, keeping that score what it is. Slip now, bringing that ball up. He fires it up top. Kangi's there. He's going to fire it down, but little Steven pitches in. It goes to Miffin. Miffin sees that goal open. He launches it down. Will it? It does. Aesir up 3-1.
I mean, you gotta be careful. You gotta. Ignite is starting. I'm not gonna say crumbling. Starting to crumble here, as this has been slowing down. But as we've seen before, Ignite has come back. They have been the team that has had a fast succession of goals. I wouldn't be shocked if they can maybe eke one out, even with a 2-point differential right now.
There's still time on the clock, but not a lot of it. Miffin feeling confident now for Aesir. A successful round so far and needing to close it out. Swagwar, though, dangerous from the skies, starting to eye down the prey like a shark. Has on the backboard Slip, but well read from Blade and Kangi, both diving at once, now separating, wasting some time on this clock, feeling like they could see, oh, that ball nearly going in off a steal, but they could very well see yet again around 7 on stream today for Aesir.
Baz throws it in the middle. Kangi's there. He's just going to flip it up to Dwagon. Dwagon feeds it across for Blade. Maybe looking for one more. Here comes Blade into the zone. He fires it, but it's deflected. That round goes to Aesir. We're headed to round 6. Round 7, sorry.
Yeah, round 7 indeed. And I gotta say, I'm shocked. These teams are not taking any breaks. They're going round to round to round. They said, hey, we're not waiting. We're sending this to, of course, round 7. That's what the script called. Of course, it's gonna happen as you come to, of course, the final tiebreaker. It doesn't matter at this point what has happened the last 6 rounds. All that matters is this one round.
Absolutely, all comes down to this. Of course, there's still a bracket reset should Aesir win. They need to beat them twice. That's the curse there of coming from the lower bracket. But that said, they are in exactly the position they want to be. Miffin, oh my goodness, some great moves, juking a few defenders. A nice pass to Blade, and Blade, oh, missed that one. A great poised play to open things up from Aesir.
Now here comes Swag, down a goal.
Up again.
We're in the 7th round. There is the bracket reset if Aesir pulls out this one. It fires it across. Kangi gets a swat at it, and Kangi's off to the races. Here's a whole gang of Aesir players coming in. Here comes Kangi. Ow, but he gets sideswiped by Slip.
That is so unfortunate. It was so close and just within reach, but it doesn't matter. Swag War trying to keep things moving down. C2 defenders, though, right in front of their face as Blade trying to keep the clear, trying to keep the possession forward for the Aesir squad.
Coming out of the sewers, there's Blade eyeing down the prey. Blade, oh, trying to switch it up, going to the left lane, the left pocket, but could not drop it in. So Steven, with some momentum, has it slapped out of there. Oh, wow! Dwagon gets back in time, some way, somehow.
That ball's going to be swatted across now. Here comes Blade, bringing that into the mound area. He gets swiped. Miffin picks it up. He has Dwagon in tow. He turns, he works it into the middle. He's trying to turn that corner, stops, hits a juke, runs into little Steven, and Swag's going to flip that up over to Kangi.
Goes in for the deep cross. Does get read, though, by that Ignite defense. It's a long shot, and I think it might just about almost slip into Swag. Able to follow that one up, at least getting the equalizer for Ignite. Again, we are on a best of series for 7 games. They just need to win the one here, but as everyone has been mentioning, it's unfortunate for Aesir because even if they do win, there's still the bracket reset after this.
And Ignites, no matter how good they are, no matter how used to it they are, you know, coming into those bracket resets, those big Game 7 matches, you want to close it out as early as possible. And indeed, if Ignite wins this one, that's it. They are the champs of Season 1 in NA. So with that being said, Aesir needing to make a play as Blade struggling a little bit with the handles, but finally finds it, making their way down the floor over to Kangi. A lot of defense in the way here by the bridge.
Ball's going to be swatted off, though. Gets into the hands of Dwagon. Dwagon coming in. Oh, that goalie was taken out. Miffin can't get that rebound. What a defensive stand for Ignite. And the ball's going to be in the corner for little Steven, who's just going to swat it down.
That was so close. I'm really rooting for them at this point. I'm sorry, Ignite, the underdog. If they can make this happen, would be something to say. Baz going for that deep pass. Does hit an unfortunate bounce there for their team, but Aesir trying their best to really keep this defense against the Ignite team.
And talk about underdogs as well. I don't think Ignite will mind. You know, when you're at top of your game in any league, in any game, you're used to the hate. You're used to people wanting to see those underdogs win. You know, Swag used to being an underdog earlier in his career before becoming the force of nature he is today. So, you know, it's just the nature of the game, the circle of life in competitive play.
Dwagon now, gonna feed it across over to Miffin. Miffin cuts in, and gonna bring that ball to the ground. Now gets by one, flips it up to the corner, no one's home. Dwagon can't pick it up, but there's Swag picking it up. He's looking, he's setting it up. He's up on the hoop-de-hoop. He takes to the sky, he flips it up to his homie Baz, who shoots off the back wall. Oh man, I think that was a pass right to Swag. Ignite up 2-1.
I'm watching the clock. 50 seconds on. Aesir down 1. Shout out to Ignite VR. See them in the chat. They mentioned something I mentioned at the beginning of the season about Serum, about Aesir being, who knows, the Ignite killer. That is a huge statement to make. But, I mean, look at the game we have today as the clock is slowly ticking down.
Well, they had a shot at an open goal, missed it initially, and that could be the costly one as Swagwar, a long bomb, heaving it right to Kangi on the intercept. 20 seconds. They need to make this next one count, or they'll be down for the count real soon. Kangi trying to stay alive. Kangi to the left lane, over to Blade. 10 seconds remaining. There is no time to spare, and with a one last heave, no, little Steven gets it out of there. Slip. Sees it slipping away from Aesir and into the palms of Ignite, your Season 1 champions, and a swan song for Swag. Another championship in the bag.
Ooh-wee, fellas. Well, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. You're reigning, defending champions of the Orion Driftball goes to the mighty Ignite organization. Congratulations, homie. Super proud of all you guys.
Right. I mean, Ignite now, I mean, they've already confirmed the dynasty. Now they're continuing a dynasty with four championships in a row. So I'm excited to see what they do in this postseason, what they do when they take their time for training and go into the next season, potentially, you know, without a player like Swagwar on their side. Aesir, though, I gotta say, not slouches, right? They almost forced this into a bracket reset. They got it to a Game 7. We saw them win some pretty solid rounds, so I don't want to count out Aesir. Aesir came really far, but Ignite is just that good.
For the
Yeah,
record,
absolutely. And some people.
Sorry, for the record, I just want to point out that I was the one that said at the beginning of the season, keep an eye out for then Cerium, now Aesir. And so big shout out to those guys. They picked up Dwagon last minute, but those guys, they've been gaming. They don't come from really playing Echo. So big shout out to those guys, all their hard work. Good work to Aesir as well.
No, absolutely. I'll give them their flowers, their props as well. I mean, for that matter, some of Aesir might be thinking, what the heck, man? We finished first place in the standings. Why are we the underdogs? But then you look at the 8-month biography, essentially, of Ignite and Orion Drift. You have them becoming the Pioneer Cup champions. You had them winning the Ignition Cup. You had them winning at VRML Con. This is a team who has established themselves even before the season fully started, and that's why it kind of played out the way it did. But absolutely, Aesir played their hearts out. I mean, go 7 rounds with Formula 3, to go 7 rounds with Ignite. Not a lot of teams can say they did that. Not a lot of teams could even dream of that, because that's a hard thing to do. And Aesir really took Ignite to their limits, and vice versa. Ignite took Aesir to theirs. But of course, there could only be one winner, and that was indeed Ignite. And yeah, the rare opportunity, again, to shout out Swag, rare opportunity, if it holds true, to retire on top. Not something that happens a lot with players across esports or sports in general. So what a way to go.
I think that we're going to maybe do some interviews here. I did want to shout out, though, to Ignite, because they went through some changes in this season. But they had a solid core, and they built around that solid core. And special shout out to little Steven coming in, rocking it hard, and even Uli, who joined the team very late in the season for the future. If you notice, every match, Uli was there watching on the sideline just to take in that experience and to see what it takes to be a champion. So, big shout out again to Ignite.
All right, so we got some interviews, you said, Juice, for the champions, perhaps.
Yes, sir. Let's turn on some comms here and let's see what we got.
Well, that's always risky business.
No, they all say good things.
I agree with
all right, congratulations, Ignite. Let's gather up here and let's do a little interview for the champions.
Team, but it's okay.
Well, the ones that are here. Swag still here? He can't retire. He can't retire until he gives us some final words.
He's not good with the press, bro. We gotta.
All right. Well, hopefully I can convince him to come in the casting booth with me next season. But congratulations.
I'll make sure of it.
Congratulations goes to Ignite. You guys fought hard all season. You had a lot of doubters. You had a lot of people coming in saying that they were going to be top dogs, but when the dust settles, here you guys are. What was some things about the season that made it so special for you guys?
I'd say.
I think
the people
for
on it,
me,
you know,
it's always like
had
a
to pick up
great
some new
inaugural
players that,
season.
you know,
Oh wait, are you asking me or them?
they all proved that they can do it, man, and proud of each and every one of them. And we just
I was like, you know
shows how,
what?
like, a strong bonding team.
I'm gonna shut up.
Sounds good. Sorry for the little interruption there, but
good, man.
you guys had some players that have moved on. You got some new players. I see little Steven there. I see Uli. So it looks like you guys got a solid base for the future. What's what
sir.
kind of things are you guys planning on continuing on playing season 2?
I mean, yeah, of course, man. I mean, we're always cooking, as my boy Far says. You know, we're always cooking something new. We're always cooking some new strats, new stuff to try out. You know, and really excited for the next season, seeing how these guys develop. You know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, special shout out to Far, one of those organization owners that really cares about his players and the people in his organization. So special shout out to him. Congratulations once again. Martini, you got any other questions?
I do not have any other questions. I think
Martini, do you have any other answers?
I'm sorry. I misheard. But no, I have no other questions, Juice. Unless you have any other ones, we could sign off pretty soon here.
Goblin, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks you guys. Thanks Ignite. Season 1 official Season 1 champions, not just the preseason cups, but you had another belt or another tick on your resume there. So good work, you guys. Proud of you, and I look forward to seeing what happens in the coming seasons.
Yeah, thank you, Juice. Appreciate it, man.
Juicifer, good job on your like generational casting.
All right, heck of an interview there for a variety of reasons, but yeah, the champions once again, Ignites, just continue to impress across leagues, across games. I want to double down on your shout out to Far as well. He is a man who's been around for a long time. You know, sometimes, you know, one of those people who don't get maybe enough credit and doesn't want it, to be fair, so he probably doesn't like me for this anyways. But shout out to Far, puts in the swequity constantly. Love to see, you know, that from owners, people who are passionate about the games, and then likewise again for Aesir as well. So many orgs here again. F3, Formula 3, we have Ren, we have TTT, we have so many of these orgs now getting involved here in VRML and here in VR esports, and you love to see it. It's a sign of growth, a sign of the times, and you know, just again, said it at the beginning of that match, and I'll say it now, just it spells more good times ahead for the future of this industry.
That it does indeed. But again, congratulations to the Ignite players for winning out a Season 1, the inaugural season winners. And of course, Aesir, and of course, F3 for winning the 2nd and 3rd place. But looks like that will be it. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry. Unfortunately for the season, that will be it. We'll be going into the holidays now, but keep an eye out for the announcements. I believe in the new year, we'll be deciding when Season 2 starts up. Unfortunately, I don't even know when it is. I haven't heard any talks yet about Season 2, but it will be happening. It's more about when it will be happening. But definitely for all the players out there watching and listening, go practice, go, you know, join these teams, maybe create new teams. I love seeing new teams come in and try to become the top players. But that'll be it for Season 1 as we get ready to set things up for Season 2.
Hold on. Not quite done yet. I would like to say thank you to all the players, to all the people that watched all season long. Man, you guys kept me going. It might have been a whack of cast, but it didn't seem like that because it was fun sharing the skills and the talents of these VR players with you guys. So I look forward to doing it in the season. If any of you guys are interested, hit me up on Discord in the off season. We'll see if we can't get you trained up, and maybe, who knows, next season you could be here casting the finals on the VRML network.
All right, yeah, cheers to you, Juice, and you know, parting words from me are No, already been said, so I won't go too much longer on that. But yeah, much appreciation. I completely agree. You know, it's all for the players and for the community, right? We love to do this, love to feature these games that we love to play. So an awesome thing. And yeah, Juice, you killed it specifically here this season. So many props to you, man. Yeah, that's it for me. Just a pleasure to be here. I will say my little, be happy, healthy, safe, and good to each other. But Juice, close us out. And yeah, happy to be here again real soon on that note.
Well, I promised myself I wouldn't cry. I got a little bit of tear in my eye. But one last time, all you robots out there, keep grinding. And 6-7.
Orion Drift VRML is brought to you by Another Axiom, Helga, the esports manager. Thanks for watching VRML.